Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Star Citizen FM, episode 19. My name is Dr. Hawk.
Stop right there, criminal scum! Nobody breaks the law on my watch!
Wait, what did I do wrong?
I'm confiscating your stolen goods. Now pay your fine, or it's off to jail.
Do feathers count as money?
Nope.
Fuck, I really need to start remembering to pay for my hookers and blow. Fuck. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode as previously mentioned. My name is Dr. Hawk, and I'll be walking you through Wingman's Hangar, episode 20. Congratulations to Eric Wingman Peterson and everyone else involved in making Wingman's Hangar on 20 episodes. That's a quarter of the way to 100, or 20 episodes, or 20 shows, whatever way you want to count it. It's still an impressive milestone all the same. So let's start off and go with the week in review. Oh wait, Eric did want to give a quick shout out to all the new pleasures and subscribers that we now have as pertaining to the Aurora campaign. To any of you who watch my show or, stick around in the chat roll, I welcome you personally as well to the amazing community that we have, and hope that you enjoy your stay and look forward to getting to know you in the chat roll and forums. As always, check out the chat roll. A lot of us are there, and maybe some questionable conversations and interesting conversations all the same, but a family nonetheless, if not slightly morbid and dysfunctional. Again, if you guys want to check out Wingman's Hangar on YouTube, you can find all the episodes there if you would like to subscribe and stay up to date. And I'm asking you to do the same. If you would be so kind, subscribe to Star Citizen Community channel, as well as my own private channel, Wraith Ascendant, which I really wish I could change to my current name, if you would like to stay updated with all current things Star Citizen. And now we can move on to the week in review. So, as mentioned, the Aurora Pledge was a success. Lifetime insurance for everyone. Lifetime insurance was passed around, and they now have enough money to buy their own mocap studio, or motion capture studio. This may seem like a very expensive investment to begin with, but given the fact that they do not have to give all their drug money to somebody else, and they can hoard their drug money for motion capture and whatever important needs are needed, that actually cuts down on maintenance costs as well as contract costs, I'm assuming, by a large amount. So in the future, if they ever wanted to do, let's say, animations after the game has released, it will cost a lot less money to do, let's say, higher quality cutscenes or animations than it would be to contract somebody else to, fly down and borrow their studio, etc. So again, congratulations to everyone at CIG as well as the community for a successful funding project. I don't know what else to really call that. As well, we have a new segment coming up that you'll see called Meet the Mod, the guest being somebody that I have interviewed myself, and am now wondering if he's becoming too popular. We also have two new people, Ron Majoy, who's now the project manager who manages projects. Jeez, who would have thought? And Justin Bimford, who is going to be their CSQA individual. So, basically, 8 hours a day of running into a wall, making sure you don't, no clip through it, etc. QA testing's quite fun. Hint, it's not. So, as mentioned before, if you're interested in checking out the little video segment with Toast, the moderator that all of you should be familiar with, both on the good and bad end of the side, although given the fact that we have such a good community and not a lot of shadowbots, we shouldn't have to worry about too many bannings. So check out the little interview with Toast. Toast, good to see you on the camera, and maybe I'll have to interview again, third time's a charm. Wingman's weight is still has gone from 236 to 219, so now I believe we just have to stop sending in all the alcohol. No, don't stop sending in the alcohol. Programmers and people work best when they're drunk and inebriated. Come on, we all know this. So again, congrats to Wingman, you're doing a great job. Keep up the hard work. We're all here supporting you, and I'm pretty sure that that scotch is still there for you once you reach your target weight. Community, we're gonna get a big dump truck, gonna fill that full of every kind of scotch in the world, and then we're gonna send that to him, okay? Shh, that's between us, okay? And lastly, we have a fan gift from Joe Yamanaka. I think I said that wrong, so please forgive me if I did. He sent in a little samurai helmet for the community, adopting the common warrior strategy of never giving up, never surrendering, and being genuine badass. That's one thing I can appreciate from many cultures of all warrior castes, is pretty much being graduates from the school of why the fuck not, and keep going forward. Hopefully CIG, they do appreciate the gift, no doubt, but that mentality will probably go a long way in the coming months as we look forward to the Hangar module and the dogfighting app. And that pretty much covers our week in review, so now let us move on to forum feedback. This week's forum feedback contains a wide variety of questions and diverse answers, both by the community and CIG alike. Our first comes from Ramen0503, asking, "It's extremely satisfying to see Comlink polls. I wonder how much the results influence decisions as devs, and whether you are sometimes surprised by the popularity of responses." Eric said to say that they actually take all the polls seriously. A good example would be the Handle scandal that some of you may have remembered that happened not too long ago. And sometimes it can be surprising, no doubt, but in all actuality it's to be expected on their end. They said they want to make this game with us, and that in a way we are making this game with them by proxy. So having this kind of input is probably a lot more healthy for the game than, say, a publisher versus developer. The community came up with some good ideas regarding that Handle situation, so I think already right there is good evidence of whether or not they listen to their forums. There are many other companies and sites I could mention that don't do that, but we'll leave that sleeping dog, we'll let sleeping dogs lie. Myrothus was the next to come up with, "Will we be able to fully script things in servers? I can imagine creating a great real-life server with jobs and many more functions for roleplay on planets." According to Wingman, "On your own server you can script and do whatever the hell you want." He pretty much likened it to running your own MMO of sorts, and I'm pretty sure anyone who has ever played the game Aeon, or at least that's the one I'm familiar with, you could rent and run your own private servers as well. So it would not be out of the way to suspect something such as that. Our next question comes from Lord Atrix, wanting to know that if CIG reaches $10 million before the new website goes live, will we still be doing the 24-hour live show? This is already in the plans. Yes, of course they're going to be doing the 24-hour live stream. This is a community event. So again, as I've mentioned before, if you have videos, music, song, dance, porn, websites, whatever, or anything pertaining to Star Citizen with one particular four-letter word that I'm pretty sure I said that actually doesn't really have anything to pertain to the game, send it in, or at least get it ready. I know I'm going to try to do something. Legante's probably going to do something. Kinshao, everybody. Now let's get together and do something pretty crazy here, Think of it as a sexy party with the CIG and community, except with a few thousand people. Let's make the best of this event, shall we? McQueen was the next to ask a very creatively done question, so any Star Trek fans or ship fans in general might appreciate this. During battle, when you're tossing and turning about, will you be able to walk around your own ship? Make tea during battle, when you should be, at the guns, radar, communications, the important things. Eric says, of course, you're already going to be able to move around during battle, but there is the possibility that you could be bounced around with gravity, or maybe it fails and you're left floating about. And honestly, if you're walking around in battle, yeah, you deserve to get blown up. But the option's there to those who want to know, so it actually could pertain to something useful, such as repairing something, I don't know, bailing from your ship and just floating around. Ideas and details are not yet known, but hey, you can, so that alone should be good enough reason. Why the fuck not? Quorum of 4 wants to know, does the Aurora have a bathroom? And any of you that looked at the brochure might have noticed this too. It's kind of small. The public makes irrational demands for answers, and honestly, if I'm flying around in my Aurora, I'd like to take a pee. Eric responded quite cleverly with to pee or not to pee. Of course, you don't actually need to have a bathroom in the Aurora. That's what these special spacesuits are for. Well, shit. There goes my idea of sharing spacesuits. Now this just seems like I'm sharing condoms with somebody. Ew. Our next question comes from Atomic... Wait a minute!
Freaking unbelievable!
I'm the greatest.
As it should be. I'm the only hawk around here. My good sir, I have a bone to pick with you. Atomic Hawk wanted to know, has the dev team considered if and how they are going to implement scavenging and salvaging? Wingman went on to say that there will be derelicts and plenty of stuff to explore and find, including remainders of ships, such as salvage and debris that you could search through and sift. As for other things that you can be doing, we do not yet know at this time. A quick note I wanted to make that I'm going to be addressing later is I actually was able to sit down for the first time ever and play a Chris Roberts game. Like, holy shit, I know that's a shock. Which one was it? It was Privateer, so I'm going to be addressing that later because I remembered this little salvage part and the cargo floating around needing a tractor beam. That was pretty fun. But alas, we'll do that later. Razor Xerex wanted to mention, you guys said Lamp would be in the game. Will this be confirmed? And as far as Lamp is concerned, she says she wants to be in the game, so I don't see why she wouldn't be. So, look forward to Lamp. She's gonna kill us all. Fight for your lives. Ravenhurst actually came up with a brilliant question that I should have thought up of because I work with the engine myself sometimes. Is the SC team changing or customizing certain aspects of CryEngine, or does it work out of the box for everything planned in the game? Wingman went on to say that CryEngine, as some of you may be familiar with, is built from the ground up for FPS games. And given that the fact they're making a space game, there has to be a lot of custom work going into the engine to fulfill and work for Star Citizen. As with any other game, unless you're literally building a carbon copy of what the developer had in mind, you're going to have to be doing some engine work. But given that they have people who have both worked on CryEngine before, hint MechWarrior Living Legends, or Crytek himself helping out, they should probably do quite fine. I'm not too worried about that. So, yeah, there you go. There's your answer, Raven. Lots of work. And finally, we have a video from our favorite, Legate. And it's actually good to see he's alive there. I was almost about to go scavenge his stuff and keep his goodies because, you know, come on. I'm a hawk. Sometimes you gotta scavenge and, yeah, be a little bit of a vulture. When it comes to repairing ships and gear, will you be able to hire help to fix and repair your ship? You know, somebody like an engineer or mechanic, as opposed to just a little repair bot. As far as Wingman's concerned, there is that repair bot, but as for a player or an NPC doing that, it's an idea that apparently they've been toying with, and realistically in game it actually could be very viable. Even if you are playing a space simulator game, there's people who might just want to run around and fix stuff. Anybody who's played Guns of Icarus would know that that's actually kind of fun to do sometimes, and might be great, goal for those of you that are more pacifistic and don't want to shoot people. And it could be a great way to make a living too. So an idea, it's TBD, sorry, and we will find out in the future if that's something they plan to include or not. And that pretty much wraps up our forum feedback. So let us move on to MVP. Gregor M, if any of you guys have seen him in the CIG forums or in the chat roll, which I'm actually not too sure if I've seen this gentleman, has been maintaining an important spreadsheet containing all the stretch goals for the community and the CIG team. CIG themselves say they reference your work frequently, Gregor, so a tip of the hat to you and a congratulations for your hard work and dedication. And if you guys get a chance, try to actually check out the spreadsheet and see his hard work. Congrats to Gregor M and his hard work. And with that, let us move on to wide world news. To any of you that have been paying attention to NASA, NASA is now making its first bold steps to mining asteroids. Osiris-X is a 2016 mission planned to sample an asteroid for mining. The asteroid in question itself is an asteroid that was named by a third grader in a competition called Bennu, and the idea being that it could yield lots of profit and materials for our human race as we continue to expand and frankly use a lot of what Earth has for us. Mining asteroids could be something very profitable for us as both a race and as we try to continue to expand and technologically advance, bearing in mind that these asteroids could potentially have permanent installations built onto them, and we could continue to send people out into space. On May 5th, 1961, Alan Shepard was the first American man in space, only beaten by the USSR on the Freedom 7 mission. However, despite this fact, upon return to the Earth, he was celebrated as a national hero and America's first man in space. And that is pretty much our wide world news for Wingman's Hangar. Well, there's also Pete Mackey in New York. But, again, the weather tended to be smoggy with a chance of gunshots. You know what, I think we should send some scotch or booze into Pete. We need to make him a little more happier. What say you, community? I propose vodka. Vodka fixes everything. So yes, let us move on to the final segment of the show. There's an interview with John Erskine, the new director of Studio Services. To any of you that would like to check out the interview, you can do so by clicking on the links below for Wingman's Hangar Episode 20, or you can view it on their site respectively at robertspaceindustries.com in the com link. And that pretty much wraps up Wingman's Hangar Episode 20. Again, I apologize for another short episode. I didn't have any interviews lined up, and frankly, yeah, I've just been sort of behind lately, but I'm feeling pretty good, doing alright, and I will continue to try to bring news to you guys. To any of you who are curious about some Robert Space Industry news, there's a few ComLink articles you may find interesting that have popped up in the last week. The one that I'm finding of note is the vanduul-warship-analysis. You can click the link above the description right here or in the description itself, and you can check up on the Vanduul, including a nice size comparison of what potential rape time looks like between a Vanduul and human. So check that out, read it up, and again, come visit us on the chat roll or forums respectively if you would like to get to know the community. Again, as I've mentioned before to clans or anyone else that it might be interested in an interview, if you want to do so, you may private message me on the forums, talk to me here, or email me directly at lucas.g.drhawk@gmail.com or starcitizenfm@gmail.com. This is Dr. Hawk signing off, wishing you guys all to take care and fly safe.